Dramas. Take two. Getting GoPros working. One of them was flat.
You haven't used it for a while, so we're sort of out to practice.
Out of sync. Anyway, we're at the Spirit of Tasmania and going to head off this afternoon. It's about 3:15. We don't have to load until 4:15, but you know, I like being early. Caravan's had a bath for biosecurity, so's the car.
Nice and shiny.
We've weighed the caravan in the car and we're under our GCM.
Underweight, that's good.
Just got to redistribute a little bit.
A bit of weight distribution.
I think mainly because we've got bikes with us this time on the front of the caravan. And they're e-bikes. And we also have the batteries at the front, so we've got to redistribute those. But anyway, we'll sort it out. Yep. So join us on our Tassie tour. Hold on a second, we've got to go back and show you what we did before we left for Tassie. Yesterday we also looked at the Geelong Caravan Show.
It's like the Leisure Fest.
Yeah, it's a Leisure Fest at Geelong. It's actually surprisingly good. There was quite a few manufacturers there, and
just the weather gods weren't shining on the...
No, it was raining on and off all day.
It was pretty bad.
Typical bloody Victorian weather.
4 seasons in one day, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Just wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
Yeah.
But we went and we saw some caravans that we liked. But they all need a 4.5 tonne towing,
getting up to that
vehicle towing capacity. And seeing we can't decide on what we like on any alternate vehicle, there's no use getting a different caravan.
Yeah, I'm not getting so excited now, so I'm just more focusing on what we have. Get the weight down on
the Sunland is very, very well built, and it has handled everything we've thrown at it more than most caravans would. They would have been destroyed on some of the roads we've done. But there's just a few things we need to refine on it. We need to stop carrying so much crap.
Yeah, maybe have less storage.
Yeah. What?
To store crap in.
Hey, I offloaded 2 kilos of my makeup bag today.
Yeah. Well, we're getting rid of the dinette in the middle.
Yep.
We used to store stuff under there, so that was the main storage area inside.
Yeah, I reckon there was probably 50 kilos of stuff under the dinette seats.
And we've got to put the recliner in, the 2 recliners, and a small
they weigh as much
side.
though as what was stored under the seats.
Yeah, but they're right. And when that's all finished, we'll take it over the weighbridge and see how it goes.
Yeah, and we're kind of at the point we're saying, better the devil you know than what you don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
We know our van.
We know the foibles in the van.
And it performs well.
Every van has its little curious sort of things that go wrong with it.
And at 4 years old, this is the age where it's starting to have, well, this year we've had a few little things go wrong.
Yeah.
But nothing with the construction or the operation of the van. It's all the ancillary things that are on it. So
we'll see how we go come Tassie, hey?
Yeah, so we'll just get the batteries done and we'll get new solar on, take a few things off.
Yep.
Weigh both, well, the car tomorrow, the caravan next month.
Yeah. We'll weigh the whole rig after we pick it up from the mods.
Exactly, yeah. We've even offloaded our old cookingware because we saw another set of stackable cookingware that's available at Kitchen Warehouse.
Yes.
And it's got more in it and it weighs less than the pans that we had.
Yeah.
We had 2 space pans and 2 square saucepans that were stoneware. The stoneware ones were becoming non-stick and
What else did we get rid of? Clothes. Fair bit of boots.
Fair bit
How
of
many
clothes.
shoes did we? I got rid of, I don't know, about 5 pairs of shoes.
I've only gotten rid of a couple of pairs of shoes.
I was
and my
terrible.
clothes, I've gotten rid of quite a few, but I still have a lot.
And shirts, like I usually wear these shirts all the time. I
just
got rid of so many shirts. Like you pick up shirts as souvenirs as well, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Roadhouse shirts and stuff like that. And we thought, well, I'm not going to wear them all every day, so I left a lot of those behind. And a few jackets.
Yeah, you need enough for the Tassie weather. But yeah, it's so easy to accumulate stuff, and we had too many tools, didn't we?
And bedding. Got rid of bedding.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a linen queen. We had 5 sets of linen in the caravan.
Yeah,
we're down to 2.
Yeah, I did get rid of some tools.
Yeah.
So it all adds up. I should go and weigh everything up and find out how much we actually stripped out of it.
Oh, it's a lot because we've had boxes and boxes go over to our storage facility.
If we measure it up, we'll put an approximate somewhere.
Yeah, but It's always an interesting exercise to go through. If you're on the road, give yourself time somewhere to be able to reevaluate what you have
what you need. And that's it. Get rid of what you don't
get
want.
rid of what you don't need. Get rid of what doesn't work.
Yep. That's what you do when you're on the road, isn't it?
And add what you want.
That's where we're parked up with our boat, and we're getting ready for our next trip over Tasmania.
Yeah, we've got. How many weeks till we go to Tassie? A month.
A month, yeah.
Spot on a month before we go to Tassie. I've got how many weeks of work left? 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks of work left.
2.5 weeks.
And then we're going to have 2 weeks being grandparents and spending time with our kids.
Yeah, a little bit of Christmas with them.
Yep. And then we're going to head to Tassie on the 2nd of January. So we're looking forward to that. And all of this has to be done by then.
Yep.
As part of the recliner conversion, we moved the filler points for the tanks so that it made more space for the cupboards. We had a couple of end lines installed where the filler points had been moved from. We also had a new GPO and a couple more USBs incorporated into the new cabinetry. Plus we added another 220 amp hours of batteries. This gentleman is a whiz at fixing the vinyl floors. Just doing the last of the repairs on our vinyl floor.
Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
As you can see, the cupboards are in. New dinette table. At the moment, one chair's in the ensuite, one's on top of the bed. It'll be so much more comfortable.
Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Now back to our regular programming, our trip to Tassie. Here's the Spirit.
Early. It's 2:30. We don't have to be here till 4:30, 4:15. There's already caravans lined up. For a few.
So keep
No caravans or motorhomes in that lane. So there's 3 lanes, 4 lanes.
So we were just sitting enjoying our lunch and some coffee in the cafe, and they said they're going to start check-in, which is about an hour earlier than it was notified on the SSMS that we got. And we've got to go back to our car. We're just waiting to go through the gates now. We were asked to come back to our car. So waiting.
a couple of minutes to open the gates and we'll go through.
And then we'll wait on the other side for ages.
Well, we'll be one of the first ones on. We'll be first ones off. Maybe.
So we're just going through biosecurity, and they checked inside the van, they checked the fridge at the back. They asked about the batteries on the bike because they're electric vehicle batteries.
So we've got a little EV.
So we have an EV tag. And I declared we had a Capilano honey, and it was a bit obscure on the Department of Primary Industries site as to whether you could take it or not. It was sort of one of those declare it things. So
I think it's unfiltered honey. They're really strict on honeycomb.
yeah, well, we had 3/4 of a bottle, squeezy bottle of Capilano honey. So I declared it, and they were going to do biosecurity, and we could claim it when we get to the other side. And I went, no, don't worry, chuck it out.
Yeah, no,
Couldn't be bothered.
not worth it.
Not worth it at all. So, but it was a simple process to get through, and I think honesty is the best policy. Just tell them what you've got, and they'll tell you what you can and can't do. So we're through check-ins and biosecurities by 3:24, and haven't had any hassles at all. You get given one of these little boarding passes when you go through the check-in process, and these are actually your room key as well. So on it shows what deck you're on. Unfortunately, we're a bit higher than I want to be. The lower you are, the less
We're on deck 7.
turbulence. Yeah. And what cabin you're in, or seat you're in if you've got a seat. So during nighttime you've got to take a cabin or a seat, one of the recliner chairs. But during the day you can just wander around the ship. So we always take a cabin because I'm a little prone to motion sickness. So I take promethazine, Phenergan, which knocks me out for the journey, and I don't get the displeasure of being ill. So that's why we always get a cabin. Say always, this is our second time.
Well, it's the best way to travel.
Yeah, our second time with Peter. I've done this with my kids as well as a day sail, and I was as sick as a dog all the way. I didn't take medication with me that time. I bought some of the ginger tablets on board. They did absolutely nothing.
So what works on you?
Well, Quells or Phenergan.
Phenergan?
Yeah.
So what's ondansetron?
Well, ondansetron works as well, but Quells and Phenergan are the commercially available ones.
Right. So
ondansetron you've got to get
prescription.
Yeah. So I went to the pharmacy the other day and bought some 10 milligram Phenergan, which won't totally knock me out, but it'll certainly keep the nausea under control. If you do want to sail and you want to avoid motion sickness, the closer you are to the centre and the gravitational centre of the boat, the less you experience that and forward back motion. So the less likely you are to be sick. And if I was ever going to do a cruise, open water cruise, longer than this trip, I'd make sure I was on the cabin in the gravitational centre. So, yeah. I'm not too fussed on this shorter journey because I'm going to sleep tonight anyway.
Yeah.
And the first hour and a half going out of the bay is calm anyway. The bay never gets big swells. It's once you get out of the heads. So, but we're looking forward to going over to Tassie again.
We're almost on the boat.
That shows you how little room you've got in between the caravan next to us. She just went to go in it and it was really hard for her to squeeze in. Yeah. We're lucky we're next to the side of the building at the moment. We actually got a little bit more room. So yeah, get everything out of your van before you go through check-in that you need in your car. One thing to give you an idea of, we actually spent about $60 at the car wash washing the van. And probably what, $30 for the car yesterday?
Yeah. Getting all the
trying to get all the outback dust and dirt off because of the biosecurity thing. We're trying to do the right thing.
Oh, mud. I think I'm just worried about mud, maybe.
Yeah, well, there's a few cars around us that have got a hell of a lot of dirt and dust on them.
I think we've got the cleanest rig on the lineup.
So I don't think they're particularly fussy on the dirt front. I think if you came here caked in mud, you'd probably get pulled up. But
so.
Yeah,
branches hanging off you out of everywhere, and
I don't think you have to be quite as meticulous as we were.
Even the composting toilet got a full reset, didn't it?
Yeah, because we weren't sure if they were going to pull us up on having Koya in the toilet.
Yeah.
So we actually emptied the toilet this morning totally.
Washed it out,
so there's nothing in there.
It's empty. It's like brand new.
Yeah, it's empty at the moment. And they didn't even ask about it, so...
Well, it does say on... You read it somewhere, didn't you? Not to take composting toilets out.
No.
Or empty it, at least.
Well, I read somewhere that... I don't know whether it wasn't on the Spirit site, because it's not even broached on the Spirit site.
Did you read an AI one?
I don't know.
Might have been.
Anyway, don't get too fussy about it.
Nah.
So in this section I've been sorting the vehicles again in size and whatnot. The cars are already loading because they'll go down in the bowels of the boat. And we're at the front of lane 1, which means we might be one of the first ones off the boat in the morning. So behind that orange wall there, they're the kennels for the dogs. So if you're travelling with a pet, that's where you've got to put your dogs. We didn't bring Bonbon because I was reluctant to put her in there. Everyone is leaving their cars. Grab your bag. And we'll make it up to our deck. Watch out for the balls, Peter. Tie down points. I thought that we were following them out, but looks like they're both coming this way. Cargo ships. They're moving along, aren't they? Much more noticeable swell. And the eddies and the whirlpools.
Back to the car. Start to go choppy again.
Yeah. Gotten out to open sea.
Through the heads. Oh, jeez. Oh, that was a bit light.
That was a big one.
Yeah, that was.
This is where you're better off in your cabin. When you're in your cabin and you're lying down, you don't notice that as much. So we're in our cabin on the Spirit of Tasmania. This is one of the 4 bunk rooms in the middle of the deck so that it doesn't rock as much. Still feeling it rock. You got your 2 bunks, one there and one over here. We've actually folded them out of the way so we don't bump our heads on them. Peter's in the ensuite at the moment, which is just here, and we're just nesting up for the night. They're comfortable. We've bought some ginger beer from the there's a shop here called the Pantry, non-alcoholic ginger beer. Ginger beer I always think is good when you're subject to nausea like I am. And we're just going to nestle in for the night and then get up nice and early. I think they're going to put the alarm or wake everybody up at about 5 AM to get ready for disembarkation. See you in Tassie. Made it to Devonport and disembarking. If you want to stock up for groceries when you get to Devonport, there's a Coles and a Woolworths, but our favourite is Hill Street Grocers. It's an IGA on steroids. Their fresh fruit and veg is so much fresher than anywhere else, and we find that they last longer. We've never failed to get a parking spot near Hill Street Grocers in Old Acker Street, so that's what we did this time, and then I jumped in the van and had a sleep for an hour as they weren't open yet, and then we went shopping. There's the Spirit. First stop in Tassie is always Hill Street Grocers. Brekkie.
Happy?
Yep, happy. Thanks for joining us, and remember to like and subscribe or drop us a comment. We really appreciate the support. Join us next week as we show you our first part of our Tassie tour, starting with a great farm stay just outside Latrobe.